Questions for Coach? We'll start, Coach, with Gary Washburn.
Hey, Brad. Can you explain the first half, why they were able to score so easily, and how difficult is it to coach a team this year that it just seems like you have no idea how they're going to react and play from night to night?
Well, they outplayed us obviously in the first half. There's no excuse for that. I mean, we certainly anybody on the Celtics side, we're all responsible for that. But first and foremost, I think that that would fall on me. And so we have to do a better job. We have not been good on several occasions this year starting games. I did think that we showed some signs of life at times and some things that we can build off of. And this game forced us to try some things we haven't done as much. And so we'll move from there. But listen, you look out there, Gary, we're small. And so we have to fight. Like, we have to be super hard playing, super physical, and super difficult to play against. And we weren't in the first 24 minutes.
Next question, please, from Tim Bontemps.
Brad, to that point, you mentioned you guys have struggled in first halves, a few times lately. Obviously, Friday, you got down big. You were down big to San Antonio. Do you have any sense of what has kind of caused that? And then also in terms of trying different things, what led you to go with Carson there for that stretch in the second half?
We were trying to play faster, more skilled. Obviously, you haven't probably seen Kemba, Payton, Carson on the floor much together this year. I almost threw Tremont in there just to be as small and fast as possible in this league. But they, I think ultimately Carson has great skill. Carson's not afraid to get into people on the defensive end. He's physical, even though he's small. I thought he did a good job when he was in. The starts, I just think, Tim, when we're not completely engaged for whatever reason, we're just not good. And so, when we're completely engaged, we're a good basketball team. And when we're not even close to being able to compete with anybody, let alone a team like Miami that's really playing well right now. And they give them credit. They did a great job in the first half. And so I need to do a better job of making sure those first halves don't get away from us here in the next 4 games as we get ready for whatever's ahead.
Mark Murphy.
Hey, Brad, you've talked in the past about how you guys have always been able to hang your hat on defense. That hasn't been the case this year. What is lacking this year in that respect?
I won't get into specifics, but our defense isn't as good as it's been in the past.
Question is from Dan Roach, WBZ TV.
Hey, Brad, along those lines, for you as a coach, is it frustrating, or what's the proper words maybe that you have because of, the lack of engagement early, yet you're tinkering, you're doing everything you can to get there. And how tough is it to get to that point where you're trying to get this team where they can be good enough to do what they need to do?
Well, I think we're all, I think I'm realistic, first of all, in what our strengths are and what we have to manage. And I need to do a better job of making sure we, again, don't let the first half out of hand, whether it is starting the game poorly or whether it is in the midst of a stretch in the middle of that half. So that's on me. And so we have to, we got to do a better job.
Go back to Gary Washburn for a question again.
Brad, it seemed like Miami just took this whole thing more seriously than you guys did in the first half. Brad, as a coach, what can you do to get guys motivated? Because it seemed like the Heat knew the circumstances, they knew the stakes, they played like it, and you guys acted as if it was a preseason game.
Everybody knew the circumstances, right? Everybody knows where we stand. They know it, we know it, and they outplayed us. And so you got to give them credit for that. Again, I need to do a better job of making sure the first half doesn't get out of hand. Again, if it's at the start or if it's in the middle or wherever. I thought, and one more thing, they're really good. And so I also recognize that. I recognize that we have our hands full in this matchup regardless of everything, but we have to play better in that first half to give ourselves a better chance.
Next question, John Corrales.
Brad, you've been able to, your teams historically have defended the three very well. And that's something that hasn't been the case, especially lately. What do you attribute that to?
Again, I've got a pretty good idea on all this stuff. And I do think that ultimately, we've done a better job in the paint most of the time, although there were times tonight, but we're slow to react to the ball moving, and we're not quite on a string at the way that a small team needs to be, because last year, we were a little bit bigger, but we were better with our ball pressure and quicker into airspace of shooters. This year, we're a step slow.
Tom Westerholm.
Hey, Brad, just Rob went out at halftime. Is there an update on him? Was he just kind of too uncomfortable to keep going?
Yeah, too uncomfortable to keep going. I don't know what's gonna, like I said, it could be game time decisions every day. We may have to sit him. I don't know what the deal is right now, but that's obviously something we're gonna have to manage, because I think I played Tristan about 15 straight minutes there in the second half. So there's some challenges ahead with that.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Evan Fournier will be here shortly. Okay, questions for Evan, please. First question we'll have, Evan, is from Matt Vautour.
Hey, Evan, for you guys to not have the intensity to start the game, what do you attribute that to, and how do you fix it?
Well, that has to come from within, from each and one of us. There's really not much to say about it, to be honest. We just have to start individually better, and do whatever to get us going. And 1 o'clock game is not an excuse at all. We just have to be better individually, period.
Next question is from Chris Ryan.
Hey, Evan, on your side of things, do you feel like you continue to progress in terms of gaining a little bit more familiarity with the group, and do you see personal growth?
Talk about me? Yeah. Well, yeah. The more I play, the more familiar I'm going to be with the offense and the defense, and that's the main reason why I absolutely wanted to come back as soon as possible from COVID. And so yeah, I'm getting more comfortable out there. But I can still do it. I'm going to do a lot better, and I have to do more.
Gary Washburn.
Evan, is it even more frustrating when you guys come out in the second half? You kind of play like you should have the game. You outscored them 71-51 in the second half. You limited three-point shooting. You did pretty much everything you probably set out to do before the game. Is that even more frustrating when you kind of played it? It's a tale of two halves.
Yeah, I'd say so, because if you just lose the game by 30 and the guys in front of you were just better, well, you can kind of look at the game afterwards and see where you kind of messed up and how you can do better. But when you just fix things just by being more aggressive and turning it up, it just shows a lack of physicality, in my opinion. And that's something we can't have. We got to start from the very first minute until the very last one. And just talking about it is not enough. At that point, we just have to do it. In many games now, we've kind of started slow, and we had to spend a lot of energy just trying to come back and win the game. But if we don't put ourselves in a bad position from the start and play ahead, then we can beat anybody. So we definitely have to do better on that part.
John Corrales.
Evan, you're new here, but this has been a consistent issue throughout the season. What, from kind of an outside perspective, since you're new, have you seen as to why you're starting slow?
I haven't. Sorry. Like I said, it's something that's from within. It starts with yourself. I have to bring it. Then the next guy have to bring it, and five guys on the court bringing it together. Then good things happen. But it's a very hard question to answer, to be honest. I wish I had the answer. We all wish we had the answers, but no, sorry.
Jacopo Di Francisco.
Hi, Evan. You mentioned the physicality, but what is, your opinion, the main thing you have to fix as a team to get back to your level? I think your level is contention.
What we have to do in order to go back to being more physical, you said?
No, I said you mentioned physicality as a problem you have to solve, but to get back to the level of the Celtics, maybe the level we all thought that the Celtics would be.
Okay.
What do you have to fix? What is your main problem right now?
The main problem right now, starting games better, to be honest. Starting games better. You can always improve a lot of things. You can improve your pace. You can improve, the shooting. Getting back in transition tonight was huge. Every game is different. You have different challenges every game, and that's why I feel like just by being more ready, play with a better sense of urgency. That's us players, and that's the thing we can control. And to be honest, playoffs basketball, we have the tools, we have the talent, we have the players. There's no doubt about it. We have the chemistry. The guys enjoy playing with each other. So it's just a matter of doing it. Stop talking about it, just doing it. Being tougher with the ball, being tougher on the defensive end, and good things happen. Yeah.
Last question, Evans, from Bob Schron.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi, Evan.
Hi.
You talked about it a moment ago about the chemistry, and it doesn't because you guys haven't played together. Is that require even more focus in terms of coach was talking about being late on coverages, for example? I mean, does that require you to even focus even harder because of the fact that you guys haven't played together? I mean, this was a perfect example today. Miami's played together all season. You guys haven't.
Well, I can only talk about myself because I don't know about the other guys, obviously. But for me, that you know, I'm a guy that's new here. Of course, I have to pay more attention. You know, I have to ask more questions. I have to watch more tape, make sure I understand everything. Because, you know, in order to play well and to be consistent every night, you know, you have to be an expert on what the team does. And you know, I can do a lot better at that, just by asking, just by observing and watching tape. So for myself, that's the answer.
Wrap it up right there. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Thank you, guys.
Good afternoon, Jayson. Questions for Jayson? We will start with Chris Ryan.
Hey, Jayson, just your take on this one, the start for the team. It seems like you're doing everything you can out there. Is there anything more you feel like you could do to get this group going?
I mean, it's a lot more I could do. I could just be better, especially from the start. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's on all of us. But I just know there's a lot more that I can do out there.
Next question is from Tim Bontemps.
Jayson, you mentioned the slow starts. Obviously, I know if you guys knew exactly what was going on, you would fix it. But do you have any sense of what is causing you guys to consistently get off to these kind of slow starts in games?
I don't know, maybe being too comfortable. It's clearly we know what it takes to come back, to give ourselves a chance. Hard to pinpoint exactly why. Like you said, we knew. I wish we could change it or address it.
Next question from Mark Murphy.
Hey, Jayson, in past seasons, you guys have always been able to sort of hang your hat on defense. This year, not so much. What's lacking this year that you've had before?
Yeah. said in the past, recent years, that's something that, we really excelled at. And this year, not so much. We've showed flashes, but just not been as consistent as we've normally been since I've been here.
Taylor Snow.
Jayson, with today being Tommy Heinsohn Day for the Celtics, could you reflect on what it meant for you to have the opportunity to sit down and get to know Tommy a little bit as you were coming into the league, and also what stood out to you about his legacy with the team?
Yeah. I think I can remember that just that time I got to sit down with him and, just listen to some stories and advice of his. I think my last season or my second season. And obviously just once I got with the Celtics, just got a much better understanding of who he was, what he accomplished and what he meant to the Celtics. I didn't know as much before I got here. I was just thankful that I was able to share some time with him, my first couple years in the league.
Next question, Adam Himmelsbach.
Hey, Jayson, I know it's probably tough because you guys haven't really had time to play together, but where do you kind of see things when you look at this group now that, Evans found his rhythm, Aaron has stepped into kind of an important role? Where do you feel like you guys are in terms of having more comfortable rotations and kind of knowing who's going to be out there and who you guys can count on when the playoffs get here?
Due to injuries, right now we just still trying to figure it out. Guys trying to figure out their rotations, but like you said, Ev has really been playing well, and Aaron has been tremendous off the bench. Just shot making and energy. And doing little things. He's definitely earned the time that he's gotten out there, and I'm happy for him because he's worked his butt off all season, and didn't get much opportunity early on. Still has been a great teammate and showed up to work every day, and it's paying off. So on the bright side of things, that's something I'm very happy for. Just to see him continue to grow and make the most out of his opportunities.
Follow-up question from Gary Washburn.
Hey, Jayson, he scored 79 points in the first half. Trevor Ariza had 15 points in 6 minutes. It just seems like it's a pride thing. It's a mental thing more than, you guys showed in the second half what you guys can do. Mentally, what can you guys do to be more prepared for games? It seemed like Miami took this much more seriously at the beginning than you guys did. Once you guys got punched in the mouth, you guys rallied, but that's kind of been the theme this season. What can you guys do to be more mentally prepared for games?
Yeah, I think obviously we know how to respond, and things like that. We've shown that in many of games. I guess the answer is it's a choice. I don't think that we're necessarily good enough to just turn the switch on and be like, all right, let's play. Certain games here and there, we've done that in the second half and been able to win. And obviously today we dug ourselves too deep in the hole. We gave ourselves a chance. We always gonna do that. But I know that we can do better, do more, especially in the beginning of the games. Just play with a little bit more toughness and play faster. Because when we get stops in the second half and we play fast and play to our advantage, we look pretty good. So we just got to start like that.
Final couple of questions for you. Jason, Jared Weiss.
Jason, you guys have had a lot of success with switching in the past couple of years and did it obviously a ton against Miami. But this year, it seems like there's been a lot of communication errors across the board, and that was really hurting you guys on the split actions in the first half today. Do you feel like communication on defense is something that's hurting you guys at this point? And is there something you could do to fix that, considering the playoffs are so close?
Yeah, just watch, look at our mistakes on film. Obviously, we got some new guys who come from different systems, and there's an adjustment period. I think, obviously, I wish we had more time to practice and things like that. But just really just watching more film together and learning from our mistakes. I think it would be the easy answer and the best thing to do at this point. Like you said, playoffs are right around the corner. We're not going to be perfect every possession, but just being more comfortable with each other and talking more will definitely go a long way.
Final question, Jason, is from Dan Roach.
Hi, Jason. Just a simple question is, with what was at stake today, the playoff positioning and everything else, how disappointing was today for you guys, but also how much more important now does Tuesday's game become as you come down the stretch?
Yeah, we know what's at stake. Things continue to fluctuate with the standings. And like you said, I guess it just makes Tuesday even that much more important for us to get a win.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Jason.